And welcome back to this special edition of Hannity, Obama's ISIS strategy. Now that ISIS is threatening to attack us here at home, how will President Obama keep Americans safe? Joining us now with reaction, our former CIA operative, Mike Baker, former NYPD detective, Pat Brosnan, and former FBI special agent, Manny Gomez. Let me go right to it with Mike Baker. Mike, looking at the global intelligence and where we are, we've lost a lot of human intelligence. Technology doesn't do the job. Does America and does the globe, whether it's France or Russia or others, have enough intelligence to deal with this? We saw a lot of lapses, a lot of mixed signals.
Yeah, no, you've touched on a really important point, but it's been a problem we faced frankly, for decades when we're talking about, the Middle East extremist, the Islamic extremist problem is human sources. It's always been an area that, I mean, obviously you can always improve your intel sources, but in particular when tracking these targets, the terrorist targets, it's been difficult. Very closed communities, very difficult to penetrate. And so we have relied very heavily in the past, and still do, on a lot of our liaison partners. The Jordanians, the Saudis, the Israelis. A lot of good work goes on there and information sharing. And increasingly now, obviously, with France, coming in such an aggressive fashion as they should, will lean more heavily on their service. And they have a very, very strong, very good intel service.
All right, let's go to the FBI perspective, Manny. FBI, of course, also dispatched to France. We have a Legat office there. We always have an attaché. And because there's an American involved there that was killed tragically. FBI counterterrorism, that global intelligence and protecting the homeland.
Well, we've had ALATs and LEGATs overseas before 9/11, and it's now much more robust after 9/11. And our liaison efforts with the locals in France, in Europe, in Middle East, Israel, Jordan, etc., is very robust. And we're trying to get any and all intelligence possible to be able to help the homeland here in New York City and the rest of the country.
All right, let me go to Pat Brosnan. My guys on NYPD, I've known so many of them. They're concerned. They send me the pictures of the Hercules team the night of the attack playing out. Local law enforcement, you've got CIA intelligence, you've got FBI's responsibility. But the folks walking through Times Square, or through Chicago, or through LA, anywhere, need our local police officers. Are you getting enough from the federal government in intelligence to help you with your efforts?
Absolutely not. The problem is that it's not that we're not receiving it from them. The fact is that we got outmaneuvered on this one. We were clearly outgamed. Today's terrorist, based on the Paris attacks, is a far more clever, a far more cautious animal. Let's look at it. At least 8, 7 locations, 129 dead in 33 minutes, and not one whisper, not one syllable, not one fact recovered and gathered and conveyed to through our apparatuses for the collection of the intel. What happened here is they made their mistakes in the past and they learned from them. They've changed their MO in a very significant way. No more chatting on online forums, no more speaking with facilitators, no more falling for our guys that we put in to get close to them, our undercovers. These terrorists are absolutely terrifying, and they beat us at our own game. There was not one peep, not one whisper. These guys had to do their advance work. They had to do their training. They had to acquire weapons surreptitiously, vests, guns. Astonishing. Nothing was known. So there's no intel. This is a scary, scary, scary time. And the word to lose is the word if. The word to keep in mind is the word when you talk about New York City.
Just a little bit of time left. Mike, let me go to you first. Mike Baker. Intelligence, whether they're using dark web, whether they're using apps, encryption, point-to-point encryption, is there a way to get through this?
Well, there is, but we're constantly playing this cat and mouse game. And, as Pat pointed out, they do learn. They get smarter as we go along. We have made it easier, unfortunately. We didn't, but the things such as the Snowden leaks and then all the angst and hand-wringing over the past couple of years have made it easier for them. Anything that tells the enemy, anything that tells the terrorists how we do our work and our capabilities, is going to obviously help them. That's not a statement of rocket science.
I've got to get our FBI guy, Manny Gomez, back in on this. Manny, with what they said, can we do this? 10 seconds.
Absolutely, we could do this. But it starts off with our leadership. when the President of the United States says we're not going to put boots on the ground, that's a policy decision, and I respect that. But why are we telling the enemy our strategy? Why are we telling them our tactics?
Mike Baker, Pat Brosnan, and Manny Gomez. Thank you, gentlemen.